Welcome to the Crack House Chronicles, your favorite true crime podcast. I am Donnie, and with me is a man that refuses to use the self-checkout line because they don't have a mirror for him. It's Dale.
Ain't that the truth? I mean, you got to go be checking yourself out there.
You got to check yourself out.
If you're going to check out yourself, you got to be checking yourself out while you're checking out yourself.
And you have to have a mirror to do it.
That's right.
Yeah. Maybe a full-length mirror.
Ooh, that'd be good.
You could really check yourself out.
Yeah, I'm looking really hot today.
Yeah. Well, like them mirrors they used to have in the dressing rooms, you know, where you have them, like the little three mirror, you know, you can see from the side and the
I
back.
need one of them. It's like a funhouse mirror. It makes you skinny in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make you extra tall and skinny in the middle.
That's right.
That's what I need.
What's going on, dude?
Well, same old, just like I say every week.
Same old, same old.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah, we're doing real good. Here to record another episode and give you guys something to listen to.
That's right.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for making October the highest download month we've ever had.
Yep.
That was pretty damn impressive. We appreciate every one of you guys.
Yeah, that month, we'll just go ahead and say we had over 7,300 downloads.
Crazy.
Just for that month.
Just that month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That ain't counting YouTube or nothing, right?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
And we're like, what, 100,400 and something on just the YouTube.
But yeah, get this, Dale. Across all the boards, we have over 250,000 downloads.
Ain't too shabby.
No.
That's congratulations, Donnie. Shout out to you, buddy.
No, shout out to you.
Man, I'm going to be over here just beating the shit out of my back. We would be doing some back patting.
I couldn't do it without you, dude.
We need that mirror now.
Yeah, we need a full-length mirror. Check yourself out.
That's right. Man, congratulations. That's awesome.
You got any shout out to anybody you want to mention before we get going, dude?
I do have one shout out I would like to do today. A good friend of ours from across the pond, Miss Sharon Davis Hatton. She says, love listening from across the pond in the UK on my Alexa while I'm cooking and cleaning. Just me at home with it on very loud. Cliffhanger every time. Can't believe there's so many death crimes out there, but they all need to be solved and quick. Great job, you guys, and we love the accents.
Wow.
How about that?
That's pretty cool across the pond.
Yeah, because we love their accents, and I guess they love this hick stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
But, yeah, very good friend of the show. She's been with us since we first started. I love those guys. Went over to visit, and they took me in and let me stay at their house. And
wow.
It was really cool. And her husband, Tony, just showed me around all the cool spots and stuff. And big fans, and I'm big fans of them. So we really appreciate you guys.
And we appreciate all of our fans, man.
Heck yeah.
Yep. And we will remind everybody to go to Apple Podcasts, because let me tell you this right here, Dale. We are listed on Chartable for the last month. Mm-hmm. For the country of Portugal, we ranked 37.
All right, you go, Portugal.
Yeah.
Shout out Portugal.
Yeah, Portugal. And then we were ranked 51 in Japan last month.
What?
Yeah, 51. No, not kidding.
No shitting.
No shitting. 51. 51 in Japan.
Look at that mirror.
Yep.
Check us out.
Yeah, right. That's why we want everybody to go to Apple Podcast and click that 5-star and write a review in the box to help us get on the U.S. charts.
Man, that is awesome.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
It's all because of all you guys, man.
Yeah, we are ranked.
I thought we were just ranked.
No.
I mean, I took a shower and stuff.
No, we don't stink. People think we're bluffing, but we're sure nothing.
That's right. We're not just blowing smoke up somebody's ass, as we were told before.
No, and if anybody wants to go to the store page and get you something, usually toward the end of the week, that stuff will be on sale.
Yep.
Get you a T-shirt, get you a hoodie for this time of year, the cold weather.
Yeah, it's not every week, but lots of times on Thursdays or so, they'll go on sale for a few hours.
Yeah.
Or maybe sometimes through the whole weekend if you look.
Yeah. And catch a pretty good deal on that. Get you something cool. Help support the Crack House. Keep the lights running.
Yep. As we start this new month, ready to rock and roll. This is my birthday month. I'm excited.
Oh, putting on a birthday.
Yeah. It's coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Doom, doom, doom.
Yep. If nothing else, dude, we're going to get started on this episode.
Well, I thought we'd talk for about another 20 minutes since everybody else does, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I hate that shit.
Yeah, we don't have to bore everybody and give them a bunch of nonsense.
Let's get right down to it.
Yeah, we're going to get right into it. But this episode this week is not as grisly and rough as last week, man.
No, well, no. I'm not even close.
No, but we're sort of sticking to the same little theme we had last week. But
well, we kind of got in a vein when we were looking for stuff to do, and then this one's just too good to pass up. So
yeah,
and there's not a whole lot of good shows, in my opinion, on this guy. So I think we're gonna put one out there.
Yeah, there's several podcasts on this, but honestly, they all suck. Really?
I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah, on this guy, they do. They don't have the right information. They leave out a lot of stuff. And we've researched this story, and we're going to give it to you like it is.
Yeah, so you sponsors who sponsor the Suck shows, how about come on over?
Yeah, we'll do it right.
That's just wrong, Dad.
Well, it is what it is, man.
Okay.
But today we are talking about Dennis Henry DePue.
Is he kin to Pepe?
No, Pepe was LePew.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but this is Dennis Henry DePue. And just a little bit of background on Dennis DePue. He was born on June the 13th.
Speaking of rank.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
He was born on June 13th, 1943 in Sturgis, Michigan. He was the son of Claude Dale DePue and Emma Merle Groves DePue.
Well, now.
Yep. And he lived in Coldwater, Michigan. And during his early years, he lived in Burr Oak, Michigan. He graduated from Burr Oak High School and received a bachelor's degree in business education from Michigan State University.
Yeah, pretty smart fella.
He was employed for more than 20 years for the state of Michigan in the Department of Treasury as a property tax specialist.
I bet everybody loved him.
Yeah, he was very, he would...
the tax man cometh.
Yeah. And he also taught business education at Portland, Oregon, and in Los Angeles, California. And he attended Burr Oak United Methodist Church and was a member of the Michigan State University Alumni Association, and he frequented Michigan State University's athletic events.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was
a big supporter there.
Yeah, I get it. Now, he ended up marrying a woman by the name of Marilynn Lee McClenahan. I hope I'm not butchering that name.
Sounds good.
Yeah, McClenahan. And she was a Detroit, Michigan native, and she was born in 1941. And together they had 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. Their first daughter was Jennifer Dawn DePue. They had another daughter, Julie Marie DePue, and they had one son, Scott Dennis DePue. Now, Dennis and Marilynn, they were married for almost 18 years, Dale.
Yes.
Had a pretty good life. Like I said, they had them 3 kids. They were involved in a lot of community things.
Seemed like he had a good job.
Yeah.
She had a good job.
Yeah, she was a school counselor. So everything was going good for them. At the latter part of this 18 years, their relationship was very conflictive, dude. It was reported that Dennis started getting violent, and Marilynn was trying to be more, I guess, assertive in her life, and he was just trying to keep her down.
Yeah, well, as it started to crumble, he become more controlling and demanding, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he could feel it slipping away, so he was trying to reel it back in, but doing it the wrong way. Yeah.
And Marilynn even reported that he'd become withdrawn, and he accused her of turning their children against him.
Yeah.
And she often told their friends and family that she was unhappy and wanted a divorce from Dennis. So finally, in 1989, after 18 years of being married, Marilynn filed for divorce.
Sure did.
And she told her attorney that Dennis was trying to ruin her life and wouldn't let her make decisions on her own.
Right.
But now Dennis was, I guess, in all accounts, trying to keep their marriage together. But their divorce was finalized in 1989.
Right.
And it was reported...
December.
Yeah, December of 1989. It was reported that he would just show up after they were divorced, to show up at the house and let himself in.
Well, the problem was that, he pretty much gave her everything, whatever she wanted in the divorce. But he took the guest house out back as an office.
Yeah.
So he pretty much was like, here, you can take whatever you want, but he wasn't going away like she wanted, I think.
Yeah, he was still there on the property.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and there was even times, that she would come home and he'd be in the house.
Yeah.
So she changed all the locks on everything, and she'd come home and he'd be in the house.
Yeah.
So she couldn't figure out how he was getting in. But so basically, it was, he'd be like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like, "No, we're divorced. You need to get the hell out of my house." But so it's kind of like, we're divorced, but he wasn't really taking it as we're divorced.
Exactly.
So like he wasn't giving it no time for nothing. He didn't want to give up control, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah. But now their 3 kids, they were older. They were in their late teen years, and they.
I think the oldest one was a senior
in high school.
Yeah.
But now they had like a custody agreement. Dennis would get the kids, I think, every 2 weeks.
Yep, bi-weekly visitation.
Yeah, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And this is on Easter Sunday, April 15th of 1990. And this is when Dennis arrived at the home. He was going to pick up two of their children, their younger daughter, Julie, and their son, Scott.
Yeah.
But now, Julie, she had already refused to go with him.
Well, you know, and it was often, they were often reluctant to go with him. They didn't really want to go much.
Mm-mm.
And so, you know, like I said, he's not really giving anybody any time to kind of deal with what's going on here. You know, they're just going through this divorce. He's still creeping around out here and stuff, and there's just no time for no healing or nothing, or for anybody to get used to any kind of weird situation, and he just keeps pushing himself into the middle of everything.
Yep. Well, like I said, when he got to the house, Julie had already refused to go with him, and when he went inside their son, Scott, he was reluctant to go too.
Yeah.
And Marilynn tried to talk to him, and he got angry.
Well, I think he was getting on the kids pretty hard. I think, you know, it's like, you know, damn, y'all don't never want to go with us, and or go with me, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then the more he got on the kids, she tried to intervene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she come in like she was going to make some peace here and try to talk it out, but it didn't work. He just turned all his anger toward her.
And he started yelling at her.
Right.
And that's when he grabbed her and pushed her down the stairs.
Just slung her down there.
Yep. Now, she was at the bottom of the steps, and at the bottom, when he got down there, he started beating on her.
And we couldn't figure out how many steps this actually was, so we don't know if it was 3 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, he threw her down the steps and then went down there and just started beating the brakes off of her.
Yeah.
Which is not good, right there in front of the kids. And
Exactly.
And then they wonder why he won't go nowhere with him.
And the kids were begging him to stop.
Yes.
And their oldest daughter, Jennifer, actually ran to the neighbor's house to call the police.
Correct.
And this is when Dennis carried Marilynn back up the stairs.
Yeah, he got an idea here.
And that's when he had told the kids he was going to take their mom to the hospital.
Right.
But they never arrived at the hospital, Dale.
Mm-mm. No, I think when she called the cops, I think they started looking for him around, you know, the hospitals and stuff, but to no avail.
Yeah. So now we're just going to move ahead to a little bit later in that afternoon.
Okay.
And this is when a couple by the name of Ray and Marie Thornton,
yes,
they were going out on their weekly Sunday drive.
Probably pissing everybody off right now on the road.
Yeah. But this is something they did every Sunday. They just went out for a Sunday drive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but get out of the house.
But like I said, this was on the Easter Sunday, and they were on that Sunday drive on a road called Snow Perry Road, and this is near Coldwater.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just out cruising. They were having a little game they liked to play, a license plate game.
Mm-hmm.
And they would see license plate, the numbers and the letters on them, and I guess try to make a message out of them, or a little funny saying or something.
Right.
Yeah. And this is when Ray noticed in his rearview mirror that there was a speeding van coming up on his rear end.
Fast.
Very fast.
Yeah.
And just blew around them.
Yeah.
Like they were sitting still. And this is when Marie noticed that the license plate, the first two letters were GZ.
Yes.
And this is when Marilynn said, geez, he must be in a hurry to go somewhere.
Right. Which is pretty smart.
Yeah, that was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, it's picking up on that, and plus remembering the license plate number.
Yeah.
Or part of it, anyway.
Yeah, so that was pretty good, though.
Yeah.
But now, it was just a few minutes later when that van passed, they passed an abandoned school.
Yep. And
this is when Marie noticed that van that passed them sitting beside the school.
Yeah, it was like between some kind of big tank in the school, but you could see between them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Between the tank and the schoolhouse building, right?
Yeah, and she noticed a man outside the van carrying a bloody sheet.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it looked like to be bloody.
Right.
Yep.
He's going, whoa, and that's the same van that just blowed past them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of creepy out here.
Very creepy. So they just kept on going. Now, just a few minutes later, the van pulled up behind them and rode their bumper for several miles, dude.
Yeah, he's just riding their ass. Just all up in them.
Yeah, and this is when Ray...
I'd be about a little ready to panic. You think about it. You already seen this guy come flying past you.
Oh, yeah.
And then you drive by and you see him look like carrying some kind of big bloody sheet or something and doing something with it. And I don't know, maybe he looks up, maybe he don't. But then again, he's right back on you and you're like, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And this is when Ray finally turned off the highway.
So, yeah, he's just turning so this guy can go home.
Yeah.
Hopefully he keeps going straight.
And they noticed the van pull off to the side of the road. And Ray and Marie turned around and noticed the driver was out of the van.
Well, I think when they turned off and they started thinking, putting stuff together, going, man, You know, we saw part of his license plate was GZ, and then we seen him pull over with this bloody sheet, and we turned it off and noticed that he pulled over. So they're just thinking, doing something proactive, like, we got to go back by and see if we can get that tag number.
See what's going on with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, when they turned around and went back by, the guy standing there and looks up at him as he's changing his license plate number.
Yeah.
Or taking the tag off.
Taking the tag off, yeah.
Right. And at this time is when you noticed that the passenger side door was open and it was just covered in blood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. And this time they went back to the school.
Yeah, so they went by and seen he was changing his tag, and they decided to return to the school and see what actually he had in his hand.
See if they could see anything out there.
Yeah, go check it out.
Yeah.
Which I would not have done. I just went on about my business.
I'd have went on back. I'd have went cross country and done something different. Yeah. But they went back to the school, and they found a bloody sheet.
Yeah, crammed down in an animal hole.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
Yeah.
We don't know if that was a bear or a squirrel.
Yeah. It was just a bloody sheet.
Yeah, crammed in some type of hole.
Yeah.
Into the ground, I'm assuming.
But now Ray and Marie did locate the white cloth, and it appeared bloody and with some tissue and even some bone fragments on it. And they rushed to find a phone to call the police.
Yes.
Now, after they contacted the police, they learned that the man they had seen was Dennis DePue.
Right.
And tire tracks at the school belonged to Dennis's van.
And I'm sure there were plenty of them, especially if he seen them drive by and then he just took off out of there. I'm sure he was spinning out of there.
Yep. And the blood on the sheet was Marilynn's blood. And based on the evidence, it appeared that he had killed her.
Yes.
But it wasn't until the next day that it was confirmed, and highway workers discovered her body near a deserted road in Bethel Township. But it was discovered that Marilynn had been shot once in the back of the head. Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of taking her to the hospital, he must have just put her in the van, and going by all the blood and everything he just shot her in the van, apparently.
Yep. Now, a few days later, Dennis sent several bizarre and rambling letters to friends and family. And in those letters, he tried to justify Marilynn's death.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess after all this, he just took off.
Yeah. He just disappeared.
Yeah, damn the kids, damn the house, damn everything. I'm running for my life.
Mm-hmm. And altogether, he sent a total of 17 postmarked letters in Virginia, Iowa, and Oklahoma.
Right.
And it had been reported that he'd sent one to the school where she worked at, blaming them for her murder.
I think he was blaming everybody but himself.
Yeah.
And even in that one, it was full of Bible verses, and one of them was really long. I mean, like, I don't know, 13 pages or something.
Yeah.
And just all kind of rhetoric going on and on, and just rambling. And I don't know how long or how far apart these letters was, but he was on the run for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, even one of the letters, part of the quote was, Marilynn had many, many opportunities to treat me fairly during this divorce, but she chose to string me out, trick me, and lie to me. When you lose your wife, your children, and your home, there's not much left, and I was just too old to start over. So I guess that just, in his head, is, well, I guess I'll just beat the brakes off over and shoot her in the head. Be done with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of pretty wild there.
All right. Now, about a year later, Dale, this is about 8:30 p.m. at night, there was a woman named Mary, and she arrived at her home outside of Dallas, Texas. And her boyfriend, Hank Queen, was already home, and his van was parked in the driveway.
Yeah, which kind of shocked her because he wasn't usually home by now, right?
It was kind of weird because he usually kept it inside the garage. And when she came inside, he told her that his mom was very sick and he needed to go make an emergency trip to visit her. And he asked her to make him some sandwiches for the trip.
Right.
And she just felt something like something was going on and wasn't sure what it was.
Right, but she, I think she helped him gather up his clothes and stuff, and then got her to make him some snacks and some sandwiches for his trip because she was just trying to be a good person.
Yeah, and he was giving her instructions on preparing his food for the trip. And he was putting his belongings in the van, and he said goodbye to her.
Right.
And she could tell something was troubling him, and she felt
just didn't know what it was.
And she felt like she'd never see him again.
Right. Kind of a weird feeling.
Yeah. And it was later that night, Mary was shocked to learn that Hank wasn't Hank.
Right.
He was actually Dennis DePue.
Right.
And that he had just been featured on a recent broadcast of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, it was on actually when she came in the house.
Yeah.
And I think he was, that's why he pushed her into the kitchen to do this. He was just trying to get her to not see what was going on.
Why didn't he just turn the TV off?
I wondered that myself, or change the channel.
Yeah.
You know? Or maybe he was sitting there watching and it came on and then he's like, oh, shit. I don't know, maybe that was their show or something, you know, and then
Yeah.
so it'd been awful weird for him to do that. But, you know, if he was saying his mom was sick, it's already a reason, you know, to kind of not watch TV, I guess.
But she believed that he was watching the show and was deliberately keeping her distracted in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, well, he was.
Yeah.
That way, at least till he got out of there.
Now, one of Mary's friends called the Unsolved Mysteries telecenter and provided them with some information.
Mm-hmm.
And with a Texas license plate number of Dennis's van.
Right. You know, and she said that she had been suspicious of him in the past, even having a private investigator to look into him, but nothing could ever be found, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's kind of odd, but then, you know, I guess Mary's friend didn't have somebody run her in the kitchen, so when she called, and then they got, I wonder if she called Mary to get the license plate number.
You know, I don't know.
Because it's, you know, everything I read and everything I've seen, it said, you know, her friend called and gave him the license plate number, but how would she know what it is?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming maybe she called over there to talk to her and then got the plate number.